Okay, in today's topic we talk about measuring and drawing angles, and the learning objective is to measure and draw an angle of any size, and these are the key words we have. So before we embark on this, students need to be able to use a semicircular protractor to measure acute angles and obtuse angles. Okay, now let's look at the key words we have. In the first key word we have there, we talk about the right angle. Now this right angle, a right angle is the angle that make up to 90 degrees. So this right angle is an angle that is equal to what? 90 degrees. We call it a right angle. You can see this shape is what we call a right angle. Okay, now an acute angle from here to here is what we call acute angle. So acute angle is angle, if here is the starting point, is angle that is greater than 0 but less than 90 degrees. So if here is 90 degrees, you can see that it is less than 90 degrees. Okay, and then obtuse angle. The obtuse angle from here to here is the angle that is greater than 90 degrees. Here is 90 degrees. The angle greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. Okay, reference angle. This reference angle from here to here is the reference angle. The angle that is greater than 180 degrees. The straight line 180 degrees is greater than 180 degrees but less than 360 degrees. Okay, now a particular line are those lines that make up to 90 degrees. The angle make in the line is 90 degrees. We call it a perpendicular line. Okay, now this is what we call a protractor. In case you don't know, we call this a protractor, and we use this to measure or draw any size of angle. Okay, now let's look at this. Said use a protractor to draw the following angle. The first one 50 degrees. If I want to draw this angle 50 degrees, the first thing I'm doing is to draw a horizontal line. After drawing a horizontal line, what I have to do is what? I will have to use the horizontal. I'll make a center any point on that horizontal line. If I make a center on that horizontal line, then I'll pick up my protractor, take my protractor, look at it. Now in this case, make sure that this line here, this angle 90 line will be on this line, while this 0 to 180 line will be on this straight line. So you place it in such a way that they will match together. See that? They have matched together. So since they have matched together, I can now count my 50 degree, and here is the 50 degree. Here is the 50 degree. Make a mark here. This is my 50 degree. Now remove the protractor. Okay, so we have to make a straight line. Use a long ruler. Make a straight line from the point to the center of the line we make. Okay, that means that here is my 50 degree. Here is 50 degree. So that's how we make it. Okay, now let's look at 140 degree. This 140 degree, if we want to measure 140 degree, the same method, I will have to use a straight line, make a straight line horizontally, then mark out a point there where will be the 90 degree. Okay, now take my protractor, place it in such a way that this line also will be at the center, while this straight line 180 will be on the straight line. Okay, so I'll place it. Make sure you place it properly. See it at the 0, 180 and the center also. Make sure it is properly placed. Okay, now I need 140. You can see if I count from here, this is my 140 degrees. See it, 140 degree. If I want to take from the right to the left, if I want to take from the left to the right, that means here is 140. I'm taking from here. Okay, let me take from here. So here is 140. Look at the 140. I have to make a point at that. So if I make a point, okay, and then remove my protractor, make a line, a straight line from that point I make to the center. See what I mean? To the center of the straight line. That means that here from this point to this point is what we call 140 degree. Okay, now next one we look at 250 degree. Now on this 250 degree, you can see that in the protractor what I have here is only 180. You see that it's not up to 250. Okay, but remember a round circle is 360. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to first of all set 360 degree minus it 250. So if 360 minus 250, what we have is 110 degree. So I will measure out 110 degree, which is in between that 0 to 180, is in between this line. If I make out 110 degree, I will remove it from 360. The rest is what, 250. Mind you, I want to construct 250. Okay, let's go. What I have to do first of all is I'm going to make a straight line. If I make a straight line, okay, now make a center. Let this point be my center. Okay, from here I will pick my protractor. If I pick my protractor, place it here, make the line to be here. See it? Okay, now consider here is what? Okay, 180. So if the line is here, then what I have to do is to measure out 110, and 110 is at this point. So here gives me 110. You see it? 110. From here to here is 110. Okay, then remove my protractor. Take a straight line from this point to the center. See that? That means that from here to here is 110, but what I need is 250. That means that from here to here is 250 degrees. See that? Why this point is 110 degree, but this is what I need. Two of them gives us 360. Okay, now let's look at some other question here. In this case, we are asked to use a protractor to measure the size of each marked angle. To measure the size of this, if I want to measure this here, I will use my protractor here, place it also. This point here will be the point at the center, where this will go to the 0 and 180 degree. Okay, now use my protractor. Look at it. See that? I place it here. Make sure that it goes to 180. Look at there. I have to place it properly. See that? Okay, that's fine. Now measure it from here to here is 30. We have that to be 34, 35. See, that gives us 35 degree. So this line, this angle is there, 35 degree. That's the angle, 35 degree. Okay, now let's look at the other one to measure this angle here. Okay, now look at how this angle looks. Look at the way you measure it. For me to measure this angle, I cannot say placing it here. I can't place it here, because if I place it here, it cannot go. What I need is this angle. See that? So what I have to do is to do what? To rotate the angle in such a way that it will enter very properly. See that? Rotate the angle, place it. See what I'm doing? I place it here. Okay, now you can see that this line now is at the middle, and this straight line is on the 180 degree. So if I count from here, look at the angle here to this point. You see it? I have 140, 141, 142, 143. You see it? 141, 42, 43, 44. So that gives us 144 degree. You see that? Okay. So remove it. Look at it. Measure 144. So if I remove it, this angle here is 144 44 degree. Okay, next look at this now. You see, this is a reference angle round. So for me to measure this reference angle round, I have to first of all measure this small part. If I measure this small part, I remove it from 360. That will give us the other part. Okay, now let's go. I will have this to be bringing my protractor, set it in such a way I can measure that small part, turn it, okay, place it here, okay, turn it properly so that it get to 180 and 90 degree at the middle. Okay, fine and good. Now let's measure from here to here. You see it's 50, 40, this is 50. You see that 50. Okay, that's fine. Let me remove. We have seen it's 50 degree. Let's remove. So since that here is 50 degree, since that here is 50 degree, that means that 360 minus 50 degree gives us 310. That means the angle here we are looking for is 310 degree. I hope you have seen it. This is what we need. We measure this, subtract from that, and that is all it. So this is how we solve the problem. Thank you for listening, and any question, do let me know.